1021. Which crew member is required to be under the direct supervision of the remote PIC when operating an sUAS? A. Remote pilot in command. B. Person manipulating the controls. C. Visual observer. The correct answer is B. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, requires that when operating an sUAS in a commercial operation, the person manipulating the controls must be under the direct supervision of the remote pilot in command. This means that the remote pilot in command must be able to see the person manipulating the controls and be able to communicate with them at all times. The visual observer, while required in certain circumstances, is not responsible for operating the sUAS and is not required to be under the direct supervision of the remote pilot in command. 1022. A person without a Part 107 remote pilot certificate may operate an sUAS for commercial operations? A. Under the direct supervision of a remote PIC. B. Only when visual observers participate in the operation. C. Alone, if operating during daylight hours. The correct answer is A. According to 14 CFR Part 107, a person who does not hold a remote pilot certificate with an sUAS rating may operate an sUAS for commercial operations as long as they are under the direct supervision of a remote PIC who holds the necessary certificate. The remote PIC must be readily available to take control of the sUAS at any time, and the non-certified person must be able to communicate with the remote PIC. Visual observers are not a substitute for a certified remote pilot. Operating during daylight hours is a requirement for all sUAS operations under Part 107, regardless of the certification of the operator. 1023. Whose sole task during an sUAS operation is to watch the sUAS and report potential hazards to the rest of the crew? A. Remote pilot in command. B. Person manipulating the controls. C. Visual observer. The correct answer is C. The visual observer's sole task during an sUAS operation is to watch the sUAS and report potential hazards to the rest of the crew. They are responsible for keeping the sUAS in sight, avoiding collisions, and communicating any hazards or obstacles to the remote pilot in command or person manipulating the controls. The visual observer is a crucial part of the crew and helps ensure safe and successful sUAS operations. 1024. Which of the following crew members must be used during Part 107 sUAS operations? A. Remote PIC. B. Remote PIC and visual observer. C. Remote PIC, visual observer, and person manipulating the controls. The correct answer is A. During Part 107 sUAS operations, a remote PIC must be employed. A VO is not required. The person operating the controls must be directly supervised by the remote PIC or maybe the remote PIC itself.